Hello everybody, welcome to our channel, and I hope this information will be helpful for you, especially for those of you which already have the company here in Romania, because this is specially made for you. Whether you run a small business or a bigger business here in Romania, tax compliance is not an option, especially now when in 2025 there were a lot of fiscal changes, and there will still be some fiscal changes in the next days. We are just waiting to be published in our official newspaper. So being attentive to your accountant, to your business, to what you submit, to what you do here, it's mandatory, because otherwise the fines are quite high, and not all the time the accountant is the one who pays the fines. Most of the times you as entrepreneur here in Romania will be paying all these fines. So stay with me to watch the full video, and you'll find out which are the levels of the fines that you may have here in Romania for some common mistakes, let's say. Okay, and now let's go through all the situations, most common situations in which you as a company may receive a penalty or a fine here in Romania. And the first and most common that you can meet here is unsubmitting or submitting with a delay of the fiscal declarations. This is the first situation. The second situation is the failure to submit the annual financial statement. This is mandatory. Either you have an SRL, either you have an NGO. Just the due dates are different. For example, for SRL this year was 2 of June 2025. For the NGO it was 30 of April 2025. The third situation in which you risk penalties, this time not fines, is paying late the taxes that you have to pay here to the fiscal budget. And now, because in 2025 there are new declarations introduced, of course they came along with fines. So for non-compliance for SAFTE declaration, you will risk a fine. For non-compliance with e-invoice electronic system, you'll have fine. You'll have fines after fines after fines. The important thing is to establish when and up to what point it's your responsibility, and after what point it's your accountant responsibility. And now, because we talked about all this situation, and as I said, these are the most common and usual, not necessarily all of them, let's take into consideration and let's debate the first one. Non-declaring or declaring late the taxes here in Romania, the declarations basically, not submitting the declarations with a delay. What declaration? When I say declaration, I mean like this. The one for tax on income, tax on profit, tax on dividends, payroll, VAT declaration, intracommunitary operations. Whenever you will see 100, 120, 112, 300, these are just the short name of these declarations. In this case, it's not necessarily your job to submit, it's the accountant job, but it will not be something wrong if you ask the accountant what and are the terms for these declarations and if they submitted or not. And to go back to the amount of the fine, in this case, for all these kind of declarations, either you do not submit or submit wrongly, the fine is between 500 RON up to 5,000 RON, which in euro it will be between 100 euro up to 1,000 euro. I know may not be too much, but why to pay if you can have this under control all the time? Now, taking into consideration the second common mistake, meaning late transmission of the annual financial statement, here as well the level of the penalty varies between 300 RON up to 5,000 RON. This depends on the number of the days of the delay. And for example, if the delay is 1 day up to 15 days, the maximum level of the penalty of the fine, it will be between 300 RON up to 1,000 RON. Everything that is above or over 30 days, the level of the penalty, it will be between 1,500 RON up to 4,500 RON. And for not submitting at all the annual financial statement, in this case, the penalty is between 2,000 RON up to 5,000 RON. Again, neither in this situation the penalty is not so high, but it's a penalty, or it's a fine. Why to pay it? It's not necessary if you are in touch with your accountant. So my recommendation in both these cases would be to discuss with your accountant and to check if everything is okay. You don't know how to check? Either you ask a fiscal certificate, and in that case fiscal authorities will say I cannot give you because something is wrong, or you talk to your accountant to give you something from the system of ANAF, and it's also okay. Good. Now let's see if, for example, your accountant gives you the taxes in time and you forget to pay. What is the penalty in this case? And you have like this interest, because we have interest to the money that you owe to fiscal authorities. The interest is 0.025% per day. You have also late payment penalty, which is 0.01515% per day. And the biggest one is penalty for non-declaration. This one is 0.1% per day. Be really careful, because all this goes together, not only one of these, all together it will be accumulated and you will receive the amount with all this accumulated. We had a case in which, for example, the administrator of the company forgot about an amount, and after that he left the country and came back after 5 years, I believe, and the amount from 3,000 RON, it was transformed in 12,000 RON. So it's a really big discrepancy between what it was initially and what it is now. If there is someone of you which has a company that does not know about it or what happened to it and so on, do not forget to contact again your accountant or the accountant you worked with, or contact us to help you, because it's really important to check what happened in that case. And because it's 2025, and as you may know, we have these new obligations to comply with, like SAFT, Standard Audit File for Tax. For non-compliance with this, the fine is between 1,000 RON up to 5,000 RON. And for example, if you submitted but you submitted wrongly, in this case the fine is between 500 RON up to 1,500 RON. Besides standard file for audit tax, there is another obligation here in Romania for those ones that have clients from Romania, either they are companies or individuals. There is e-invoice system. Failure to submit the declaration, to submit the invoices in our national electronic system, the fine for this is between 1,000 RON up to 10,000 RON. And if, for example, you have clients to which you do not transmit at all electronic invoice on Romania's territory, the penalty is 15% of the value of the invoice, which is a lot. This usually affects more the Romanians, because you as a foreigner not necessarily have clients from Romania. But those ones that have clients from Romania, you must be also attentive to this. And now it comes the cherry on the cake. The highest fine that you can have here in Romania is for this new reporting system, which is RO e-transport system. Also, for those of you which have received goods, for example, and you transport them from the custom to your warehouse, for example, you must be really careful to this, because you must have UIT code. It's something also national, also related to the Romanian authorities for everything that happens here in Romania. So the fine for getting to get this UIT code is the highest, and the levels are between 20,000 RON up to 100,000 RON, which is quite a lot, meaning almost 20,000 euro. It's something unimaginable. Also, if the driver, for example, forgets to open his GPS to send all the data in time, in real time, he can also receive a fine, which is between 5,000 RON up to 10,000 RON. So also for him it's a big penalty. Good. Let's see now a little bit how you can avoid fines, because it's important for you to know as well how to avoid fines. It's mandatory to know this. And first of all, and my prior recommendation would be to speak with your accountant to see, as I told you in the beginning, up to what point it's your responsibility and after what point it's their responsibilities. From my point of view, everything related to declaring and declarations that must be submitted to fiscal authorities is the accountant job. Of course, this in case in which you give them everything in time and they have time to process all the documents. If not, then you must decide what are the possibilities that you have. After that, you must check regularly all the payments that you have done to fiscal authorities here in Romania, and if, for example, some of the money did not came back, there are possibilities in which you can receive back the money from fiscal authorities if something was not completed correctly. So you must check this as well. Of course, that you must pay VAT, taxes, everything, contributions in time. And when I say in time, I mean the latest on 25th of the month for the previous month. And in the end, to respond promptly to all the clarifications that fiscal authorities may send you via SPV, Virtual Private Space. What I can tell you is like this: prevention is the best defense, especially in the eyes of fiscal authorities here in Romania. A well-organized company, from fiscal point of view here in Romania, not only avoids penalties and fines, but also becomes scalable in front of investors, banks, and so on. If you are not sure if you have everything submitted on time, if everything is correctly done, you still have time to check before or prior to a fiscal control. If you don't know how to do this, you can contact us, you can contact your accountant and see what are the possibilities that you have. Also, on our website, you will find a shop where we have some products for accounting that might be on your interest. So you can check also our shop to see if there is something that we can help you with, at least with consultancy. I hope you liked this video, and I'm confident that for sure it will be helpful either for you that already have a company or for those ones that want to open a company here in Romania. So if you like it, of course, I wait the likes that you may give to us. And in the end, if, as I said, you can write us on office@mbv-tax.ro, and there you'll find an answer from our colleagues. Thank you very much for watching.